What'd you find out?
We found out a couple of things. There are huge questions that we didn't answer, like what happened to Building 7. Couldn't figure it out. But we established, among other things, people who are still wondering what happened to Building 7 have every right to wonder.
Yeah, it's just like...
People are wondering how 19 foreigners who were tied by U.S. intelligence to terror activities got to circulate freely under their own names in the United States for more than a year before they killed 3,000 Americans. Like, how did that happen?
Something tells me the CIA was involved in here. So.
Well, the CIA was involved at every level. Now, whether they wanted 9/11 to happen is an open question that we couldn't answer.
Well, I would argue they didn't want Bay of Pigs going the way it did either. But
that may be right.
Yeah, they ran the operation, and then.
So the most charitable explanation is that they wanted that CIA, specifically CIA, but other intel agencies, but really CIA. It's often said that NSA is the biggest intel agency. I don't know how they're measuring that. We don't know how big CIA is because it's all classified. But they're clearly the key player in the IC.
I see them as siblings. Like, I feel like CIA gets all the crap, but NSA does a lot of bad shit too. Like,
I totally agree. Well, they spied on me, so.
Gosh, did you know they actually hire former special ops? This is what people don't know. I can attest to it. I have a fact. Like, they hire former special ops guys like SEAL Team 6 and send them on one-man operations. Did you know that?
I did.
Why would CIA?
I did know that.
CIA do that? Sorry, why would NSA do that?
Because they can.
Right.
Because it's all classified.
That's what it is.
Including their budget. So when things are secret, of course, people can do whatever they want because there's no oversight at all. And the congressional oversight of the intelligence community.
Hey, Tucker, it's a matter of national security, okay? What are you talking about here? It's always that.
It's all a lie. But anyway, look, CIA was involved at every level. They followed these guys. Israeli intelligence also followed them in the United States. It's possible that French intelligence did also, but we know the first two happened. It doesn't mean they planned 9/11, but it means for whatever reason they knew that these guys were up to, that they're playing a terror attack and they didn't stop it. Why? I'll let that question hang in the air, but there's no question that they knew. There's absolutely no question. And I should say, by the way, for the 5 episodes, we only interviewed people who were directly involved in, the years preceding 9/11, 9/11, and the aftermath. So it was only primary sources. These are actual players, okay? It wasn't anyone who came to conclusions.
It's not hearsay,
Zero. This is like the FBI agent in charge, okay? The guy who ran the Bin Laden station, ran the section at CIA where they tracked Bin Laden, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we only talk to people who are directly involved. I gotta say, of all the things, this took many months, and it was painful for me because, I was on the periphery of all of that as it was happening and didn't understand it at all. We have a producer called Charlie Cougar I've worked with for many, many years, and who's just amazing. And a combination, he's just purely skeptical and smart, very smart, extremely smart, smarter than I am. Very skeptical, doesn't believe anything. That's the guy you want. So as we talked it through, it's like, we got to do something that's responsible, that's factual, that's fearless. But it's got to be responsible. We can't say anything that we don't know to be true, and we didn't. But the thing that blew my mind, maybe more than any, so all of the theories about 9/11 turn on one question, which is, was there foreknowledge? Do people know this was coming? And if so, why didn't they do anything about it? Or to what extent were they involved? But that's the question. Was there foreknowledge? Was this just a total shock, or it was not really a shock, actually? And the thing that convinced me most that there was foreknowledge, but there were huge bets put in the public financial markets against shorting the airlines involved in 9/11 and the banks and the buildings that were collapsed. Huge. And we know that because they're public markets. We can track the trades. And no one's ever explained that. What I learned during the course of making this is that the FBI found out who made those trades and has hidden the names for 24 years. And so to me, we made this in part because we wanted to spur a real investigation. The first one by Philip Zelikow was fake, and he was basically just a cutout for Condi Rice, the former National Security Advisor. But we wanted to force a reexamination of 9/11, a new commission, a real one, because I think it's really important, because America was changed completely by that day. But that one fact, like, we don't need to wait for a commission.
Right.
Like, I would like to see people a little bit more engaged. Like, we're going to actually chain ourselves to the gates of the FBI until you tell us this. Like, I'm in favor of that.
Me too.
Yes.
I'll be there.
People are not, I hope they will do that. There's no indication that they will.
It's the second most important thing that happened, in my opinion, in American history. First was killing President Kennedy.
Of course. That's right. Because that's never been explained. Right. Because there was a cover-up.
Absolutely.
Because there may have been foreign involvement, very likely foreign involvement in that. I can't say conclusively, but I think that's true. Certainly parts of the CIA were involved. There's really no question.
Yeah.
Because no one who was involved was ever held to account for involvement, it means that for 62 years, this has hung over every U.S. president as a kind of warning, as a monkey on a stick, as they used to say. You impale the monkey just so the other monkeys are like, whoa, better not, you know what I mean? Do whatever that monkey did.
Absolutely.
And so it really is a leash on every American president. And there's a reason that, the truth matters, because otherwise evil thrives in darkness.
How does a journalist become a tool of a deep state?
Well, in two ways. Unknowingly and then intentionally. So, as someone who's been a tool of the deep state many, many times by accident, unknowingly.
That was my next question. I was like,
yeah. Have I been used?
Yeah.
You think?
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've been used for sure. I think the thing that makes me different from some journalists is that I really resent that. I feel diminished by it and humiliated by it, and I'm mad about it, both at myself and at the person who used me. So I never will get over that. I'm really angry about it. If you don't mind being used at all, if you're the kind of person who would,
and there are many like that
thrive
too.
in prison, if you know what I mean. No, I don't know. I'm sorry, I mean. But I do think, like, there's a self-respect part of it.
Right. Absolutely.
I noticed this after COVID. Some people were like, oh, they lied to us. Okay, we'll move on. Some people are like, what? They lied to us? How dare you? And it was the how dare you people that I was drawn to, because they thought that the truth matters subjectively, just matters what's true, whether I like it or not. And second, they had a dignity and self-respect, particularly the men. I couldn't help judging, and I still judge. I try not to, but I do. Men who don't mind being lied to or used. It's like, men, I just have contempt for that. I do. Sorry.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.